Thank you for the invite, Drunk Sports. Thank you so much for inviting me to your show.
Who wanna spar? Spar with me, man. You can get scars when you snitch on a G and you don't have bars. No left hand, take a ride with me. Queen 7 train, man. Who wanna spar? Spar with me, man. You can get scars when you snitch on a G and you don't have bars. No left hand, take a ride with me. Yeah, Queen 7 train. Yo, you wanna spar? You wanna fight in the ring?
I want to welcome everyone back to Drunk Sports Combat. We are very pleased to have a couple of beautiful guests on the show. I got my brother Amin coming back on the show, riding with me again from the championship rounds. And we have a legendary, world-renowned trainer, man. This man has worked with the likes of legends such as Freddie Roach, Abel Sanchez, Julio Cesar Chavez, Amir Khan, my brother Peter Quillen, Henry Cejudo. You know, we got the killers in the stable, Jose and David, and a plethora of others. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce to you the one and only Jose Benavidez Sr. What's going on, my brother? How you doing?
Thank you so much for the introduction, man. I forgot I worked with those people, man. That's been a while ago, man. I was like, whoa, I did. Yeah, man, I had the opportunity to be working with Abel Sanchez. I was Freddie's assistant for almost 4 years. The Diaz brothers and Robert Garcia, man. So I learned a lot from these people, man. I believe I was in their camp for almost 2-3 years with these guys.
Wow, amazing. You know, I've known what you've done. I've been following you, been following your son, been following your whole camp. But I just want to take a second to give you your flowers, man, because prepping for this interview, I started digging a little bit into your past, right? And you've been through a crazy life, my brother. I read that your dad left when you were 2. Your mom's left 2, went to the U.S.
Yeah.
They left you with your grandmother. You basically raised yourself. At age 11, you were in the fields planting corn. And then I read some crazy, like you would eat salted leaves when you were hungry at times.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Yo,
man.
You got it out the mud, man. You know, gang violence, drug violence,
Everything,
shit we can relate to. You know what I'm saying? It's the 90s. I think we're about the same age. I'm 48. I think you're 47. I just wanted to give you your flowers and say you're an inspiration. And we appreciate you, man.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you so much. That's what we're doing here, man. I had to forget about everything that happened in my past, man,
Yeah.
and start a new life. And I thank God for giving me that strength. And here we are now with 2 world champions, David Benavidez and Jose Benavidez, and
Yeah.
super excited and super proud of what they accomplished. And I thank God for giving me the opportunity to be next to them.
No doubt, no doubt. I talked to you last week when we were setting up the interview, and you said you couldn't do the interview because you were going down to Mexico with one of your fighters, man. So I assumed it was Federico Pacheco, right? Was that who he went down
Yeah,
with?
man. I'm blessed, man. You know, to be working with all these guys. I'm working with the Pacheco brothers. Diego Pacheco is fighting November 18 in LA, homecoming, a big main event. His brother did awesome in Tijuana, so he's fighting the same card. I'm working with Daniel Blancas and man, you know, I got Julio Porras that just started working with us from Mexico, 168, undefeated fighter also. So I'm blessed, man. To be honest, I'm blessed with where I'm at now, and from not knowing anything about boxing, man, it's a dream come true, and I think I'm still dreaming, man.
Talk a little bit about Federico, man. He's a young boy, 4 fights in. So decided not to do the amateur thing, only a couple of amateur fights. Talk about navigating his career through this heavyweight division a little bit.
Yeah, man. You know, to be honest, you know, he reminds me a lot of David and Junior, the 2 brothers. You know, Diego is the famous one, Federico is the chubby one, and they're very similar. You know, so that's the reason I started training Federico, because he reminded me a lot of David, and I wanted to help him. And little by little, he's been struggling and working hard and being very disciplined and making a lot of sacrifices. He's 5-0 with 4 knockouts, and man, the kid is unbelievable, you know. And I think he has all the tools to become a world champion. He's losing weight, learning. He's only 19 years old, and he's very dedicated to boxing and willing to make those sacrifices, and he motivates me a lot to keep working with him.
Well, the guys like Tyson Fury proved that you don't have to be perfect, and even David
Yeah.
proved that you don't have to be body perfect. You just have to continue to work hard to, get that element of your game rounded. So the heavyweight division, do you plan on bringing him along? I don't want to say fast, but how soon do you think you'd move him where you want to, bring him stateside, take him, to the UK like you got a chance to do with Diego? How are you moving him along?
I always took my time with everybody, little by little, and there's no rush. They're super young. Uh, Only time will tell as I go fight by fight, see how they look, and they got to look spectacular. They gotta look good every fight they fight in order to keep advancing. And only time will tell, and hopefully they keep advancing and keep looking good. And there's no rush. There's no rush. Um, to take him all the way to the top. And he's going to be fighting opponents that are harder and harder. He fought a guy that was undefeated, 4 fights, 3 knockouts, and that was a good test. And he passed the test, so we got to put somebody with more experience. And little by little, I think he's going to keep getting more experience.
No question. Who's he with? Is with Eddie, or who do you got him with right now? Is he signed anybody?
I got him. I got him 3 fights with PVC, and then I thought it was a great idea to fight next to his brother.
Mhm.
So he fought in one of his cards, and they liked him, and they fell in love with him, and now they say, okay, you're fighting next, and then you're fighting in Tijuana. I mean, in his card, in on cars, Diego's card. So I think they like him. So right now, PVC has been treating us super good and treating him good. The zone also. So at the end of the day, whoever's interested, and wanted to do something with them, we're not asking for crazy numbers or nothing big. We just want the opportunity. And at the end of the day, we have to work hard and whoever gives them the opportunity first. But I think both of the companies like them, and we'll just wait and see who's more interested.
I gotta ask you, because I think this year, and it all starts with the root, and you guys have had a hell of a year. And I'm going back to the Pacheco. I call it a splash because fighters don't get the chance to fight overseas. Reputation used to be back in the day. You go over there, you get robbed. Diego, not only does he not have to worry about that, I think it was very strategic for him to be able to fight over there this early in his career. All right. Yeah. That was feathered to you. Also, Creed. Junior was in Creed. That was, again, another win for the Benavidez camp.
Yes.
And then David with the great win over Caleb Plant. What was this ride like for you? I know it's not over, but what was this ride like for you this whole year?
Yeah, all these things are good, man. But at the end of the day, to be honest, I don't care about titles. I don't care about nothing else. What I care is about being next to them. Super proud of what they accomplished, man. It's good. Don't get me wrong. Super proud that Junior was in the movie Creed. I couldn't believe it. They gave him a big role, and David wins a big fight against Caleb Plant, man. It was very satisfying, and just to me, the moments that I was there are more valuable than anything else, man. Being across Caleb Plant's team and me with David, man, that's amazing. That no money can buy.
Absolutely. Let's go. I want to go back to Pacheco for a second. You said 18-0 has a big fight coming up against Caceres. Caceres, a veteran in there who was, I believe, I want to say Berlanga. Didn't Berlanga give him some issues? Berlanga dropped him not too long ago.
He dropped Berlanga in the 10th round. He dropped him, and Berlanga, of course, he got up. I think that was a very close fight. We're fighting a dangerous fighter, and we want Berlanga next. We've been trying to get Berlanga. If they would have gave us Berlanga on this fight, we would have taken that fight. But we got to still prove ourselves. But we want Berlanga. That's the guy that we want. We want Berlanga, or we want Munguia next for Pacheco.
I was gonna say that Munguia. What do you think Pacheco stacks up in that division? Man, as you know, that division is crazy. You got fighters like you said, Munguia. Caleb's still a player. Boo Boo's fighting his son, Bazignan. Mabili, he's like the new thing right now. What do you think Pacheco stacks up in terms of that division as far as
You
you
know,
know?
we're willing to take any of these fighters at this point
Mm,
and see where we at now. I think he's ready. He's ready to go. He's proven himself, and we won't see until we make that fight. A loss doesn't mean anything to us, you know. We'll just see. We're not thinking about losing, you know.
right.
I think Pacheco has to beat all these guys and look good. But you know, we have to wait and see. You know, we just want the opportunity to fight any of these guys. That's what happened to David. David proved that he belongs there, and I think that Diego's ready. He's ready to go now and start fighting all these guys right there, that are 168.
Absolutely.
And so the 168 division we know is real hot right now with
Mm,
the whole Canelo Charlo thing going on. But you know, Diego, I think, and I'm just being serious with you, a fight against Berlanga in New York,
yeah.
that is like
Yeah.
that would be amazing. You know how people like to build up
Hmm.
the cultural
Puerto Rico,
difference.
Mexico. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that would be a great fight if that could happen. But it was Berlanga. He's on the zone now as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He's on his own.
Yeah,
Yep.
he is.
Yeah, man. He
Uh,
need to make that happen.
And not to cut you,
well,
I went to his last two fights against Rose and Quigley, and he brings all them Puerto Ricans out, man. That'd be a great fight, man.
yeah, for sure. He's a great fighter, man. He's a very dangerous fighter. But that's what we want to face, you know, the real fighters, you know. I think he has a fan base already built. I think that would be a great fight, you know. Imagine Diego Pacheco against Berlanga. There was a lot of people will be excited because Pacheco's a real fighter, and it's a real test. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh, even though I know that Berlanga's a great fighter too, so I think that's ready to go. Let's make it happen. Let's pass the word out. We
I've
want
heard you
Berlanga.
say, not to cut you off. I've heard you say that you think Belonga is distracted at times. You know, with the flashy shit and the hanging out with the rappers and
Well,
all that. How much you think that affects him?
yeah, you know what? In my opinion, he's a great fighter, man. Don't get
Mm,
me wrong, a very
mm,
dangerous fighter.
mm,
But you know, I the only things that I see a lot is what he posts. I don't really know him personally,
yeah.
but he's always with the rappers and
Fat
partying.
Joe.
And I just heard that he's focused. He went to Puerto Rico and bought a house. I go check him out to see how focused he is, and he's laying on the beach with, you know, like what the, I'm like what the. I mean, like okay, you know. So I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, he could do whatever the hell he wants to do. I just want to fight him. You know,
Hmm.
we just want to
Hmm.
get that fight with Pacheco, and I mean, we're ready. We're ready to take that fight.
Absolutely. Let's jump back to Junior for a minute. He fought not too long ago. He is he campaigning at 54-60 now? Where you guys in terms of that?
Yeah, we could do 150, 154, 160. Big announcement coming soon.
Mm,
You guys are gonna like this, man. Big fight coming soon, like in about 3-4 days. You know,
really?
we're working on something big, man, and you guys are gonna be like, whoa, at
Does it keep
160, my friend,
at
160.
160? Is it the
You
Charlo? Because
know,
I heard the Charlo name floated out there. Jamal, can you see that smile on your face? Am I
man, hey, man,
high?
you know, Al Heyman wants to do the biggest fights in pay-per-view now.
Mhm.
So, hey, you know, like in about 3-4 days, man, you guys will find out. You know that I'm excited, man. I'm excited, and you know, Team Benavidez. You know, we're not afraid of nobody. That's what we live for, and that's what we're training. You know, to fight nothing but the best, man. You know, and lose or win, man. But in our
Yeah,
minds, it's not about losing, you know. But at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world. We're not afraid to lose our undefeated record with Diego, with Dave, with David. We just want to know our limits and fight everybody. We want to give the fans the good fights.
So speaking
absolutely.
of which, I gotta ask you, and the Andre fight. I know there was some issues about, I don't know, was it the site again? I'm not an insider. I'm just a fan and I
Hmm.
love this thing. So
Hmm.
Yeah.
I don't even have a clue. There's no angle on this. Is this fight gonna happen? Because we know, again, Team Benavidez don't turn down no fades.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
so
let me tell you what's happening. We were negotiating with Munguia. We thought that was a good fight, a real Mexican fighter. We were negotiating. They came back. They said they offer him a 60-40 pay-per-view. They
Mm-hmm.
said, no, we want 50-50. Well, I'll tell you, yeah, sure, no problem. You get 50-50. No problem. We'll get the 40-60. It doesn't matter, you know.
Right.
But let's get in the ring. We got to prove ourselves. We're very easy, like Caleb Plant. He wanted a 22 foot boxing ring, blue corner, be announced as the champion, give him everything he wants. We just want to make that fight. Same here with Munguia. He came back and he said, you know what? Nah, I don't want to take it. And then like wasting all this time, you know. So we hear Boo Boo, you know, he wants to fight. Well, yeah, sure, let's go fight anybody. Boo Boo's a great fighter. He's a very dangerous fighter, a very slick fighter. Nobody wants to fight him because he's a slick fighter. He's an undefeated fighter that's been winning all his fights. But I think David could stop him like in the 7, 8 round. You know, that's what I think. Why not? I mean, not take it. So we went and looked for Boo Boo. We were the ones that said, let's make that fight with Boo Boo. Now Boo Boo saying that he signed his part, that he's just waiting for us. Dude, we chose you. You know,
Mm.
what do you mean? You know, you're waiting for us.
Yeah.
You were chosen by us to fight. Nobody wants to fight you. You know, so that's already done. A done deal. We're just waiting for the day. Probably like in a day or two, you guys will know what day is it, but it's already done, ready to
So
go.
it's a done deal.
Good stuff.
Let's keep it on strategy. I know you can't say too much, but I think I heard David say that he believes the fight will play out similar to the way the fight played out with Plant. You know, Boo Boo having similar attributes, not really the same type of fighter, but similar attributes in terms of speed. Do you guys take anything from that Plant fight and apply it to maybe a
Yeah, of
strategy with
course.
with?
We learned a lot from that fight, man. You know, to
Mm,
be honest, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I see Caleb Plant a more dangerous fighter, more elusive fighter, more with better footwork, and you know, with speed and combinations. Caleb Plant's a really good fighter, man. He earned my respect. Uh, Boo Boo, you know, he's coming from 160 to 168. You know,
mm-hmm,
yeah, he was an Olympian, and I mean, I, I don't want to say, you know, like he's a good fighter. He's an undefeated fighter.
mm-hmm.
And I watch his video, man, just to see what he does, man. And fuck, man, I kind of want to fall asleep, you know? Um, but and then, you know, he's a knockout fighter, you know, he just lunges in with big shots, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, looping,
I
looping
think,
hooks and shit. Yeah.
yeah, and you know, before he used to be slick, you couldn't really hit him,
Mm,
but he's not same, you know, he's not the same age, you know, no more, you know. Uh,
yeah.
Against David, you know, I see David stronger, faster, and I mean, I thank him for taking the fight, and we're not gonna underestimate Boo Boo. You know, he's still a great fighter, but in my mind, David's gonna destroy him, man. You know, and we have to look impressive in order to get the bigger fights also. So we're not
Mhm.
underestimating Boo Boo. He's a great fighter, very slick, but I think this is gonna have to go.
Um, in the plan fight, at times it looked like Caleb's speed gave David trouble, just in certain spots. I know David was catching him to the body a lot, hurting him, putting in that work, and it paid dividends in the second half of the fight. But what have you guys learned from that fight in terms of like how to deal with the speed and the footwork, as you just mentioned?
Yeah, you know what? I think we had a great plan. David's a very good listener. We knew that Caleb plan speed and legs are very good, man, like super fast. So
Mm,
what we did, you know, we try to make him think that we're going to throw big punches so he didn't stop so he can continue moving. I knew that in the fourth, fifth round, we had to stop him and try to stop him, you know. But we had to get him tired because otherwise it would have been a little bit difficult. So David
right,
was like making him think that, yeah, he's going to throw big shots. And we got to make him believe that David's missing punches, you know.
hmm,
So he could get a little bit of confidence and keep moving and get out of the way. And in the fourth round, I told David, now it's time to go to work. He got him the first shot in the stomach. He felt that shot, and I told him, that's it. Now we go to work. You know, now he's tired. And as soon as we changed that switch, went to war, that's when everything changed, you know. So I believe that David could have stopped him a little bit early, but the referee was protecting him a lot. And, you know, Caleb Plant was standing his hand a lot in the beginning of the rounds. And then he was grabbing a lot. And I counted so many grabs in there, man, that I told the referee, and the referee, you know, never said anything. But at the end of the day, we prove him wrong, and David super proud of how he did, and he listened to the whole game plan, and he was successful getting the victory.
I think that improved conditioning too allowed David to kind of, Plant could spend his money. You know what I'm saying? Plant
Yeah.
was definitely, moving a lot, and therefore had to clinch in the later rounds. And David was still there, man.
Yeah,
And I've gotta be straight up with you. I call myself, a purist, if you will. I like the boxer, and I chose Caleb Plant.
yeah, no,
And
for sure. A lot of people didn't.
no, but honestly, I was happy that I was wrong, and I say that because you learn something about the fighter that wins. So like we all
Yeah,
learned something about Terrence Crawford we didn't know. I learned something about David Benavidez that I didn't know, and he just has it's hard for me to find holes in his game because the way he can kind of set up a fighter in the clinch and make you think he gonna hit you to the body, and then they wince to the body, and then he just go with a rip him with an uppercut. He got a nasty attitude when he punch, man. He's just a
yeah.
hell of a fighter, man. So I don't know if that's something you guys teach or that's just something within
Yeah,
him. But
no, no. We work on all those things, but at the end of the day, it's the fighters that uh, have the hunger, that will, that heart, that you can't teach, man. He's a fucking animal. That's why he's the Mexican monster, man. You
for
know,
sure.
at the end of the day, man, we're just here to just, you know, tell him little things, But at the end of the day, at this stage now, he's only 26 years old, man. But I just got to keep up with him, man. I'm just here to but he's in another level, man.
But
To be honest, he's hungry.
let me follow up with that because I think one thing that I see, and you may have set the example for it, is that he seems like he's just matured. He's got his
Yeah,
family. He's got his wife. The way he moves like a champion. He moves like a star. He moves like somebody that knows that he's responsible. And it's just a
yeah,
difference you see, and I think that translates into the ring. So,
yeah.
kudos, man.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I see. It's not what I'm doing. To be
Mm-hmm.
honest with you, he's more mature, super
Mm-hmm.
motivated, super hungry, and he wants to be the best, you know. And at the end of the day, I'm just there to support him and be next to him, But without him, I don't go nowhere. So he's the one. He's the one that is focused and willing to make sacrifices and training super hard. And we gotta still keep proving until his career is over.
Absolutely. Not looking past Boo Boo, obviously he's dangerous, even though some people say he lost a step. But when you look around that division, like we said earlier, you see fighters like Morrell, who's been, talking real crazy, Mobili, Munguia, like, the negotiations broke down. Caleb's still there. You got Jamal, even though Jamal hasn't really been active like that. The division is hot. But obviously the crown jewel in terms of a fight for David is the Canelo fight. Do you guys foresee getting that Canelo fight, or if that doesn't work out, are you going to
No,
jump up to
man. To
75?
be honest, Canelo doesn't want to fight David, and if I was in Canelo's shoes, I would not fight David either. Why? Why would I
Talk that
fight
talk.
David Benavidez, the Mexican monster at 168, when I can fight 154s, 147s, even 118s, put myself in risk. Does it make sense? Why? Why? I mean, everybody's allowing him to do that. Why would he face the Mexican monster? So I don't see that fight happening. To be honest with you,
Is
he
that a
has
shot at
every.
the is that a shot at the Crawford fight? That's a shot at that Crawford fight?
I have a 118, man. He's ready to step up to 168. You know, I mean, hey, now these days, I mean, you could do that. So
Oh, you crazy.
I mean,
I'm
so
with you, Coach. I'm not a fan of that. I just feel like it just doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? There's so
yeah,
many
what do
people.
I have to prove? Now in his interviews, I watched the All Access. He's saying that he feels strong. He's gonna show the world how strong he is, and people are gonna really see what is he made of. What the hell? Come on, really? Of course. It would be embarrassed to get beat by a 154, and it could
Yeah,
happen because at the end
yeah,
of the day, I don't think he's that young no more. I think my respects to him. He did a lot for
yeah.
boxing. It will be so hard to do something that he has done, but at the end of the day, the body doesn't want to go anymore. And I mean, he's focusing on a lot of things, and Charles focused on boxing. So, I mean, at the end of the day, that's a good fight, and I think Charlo can pull it off.
You know what I like about you guys? That everyone tiptoes around the Canelo shit, the Canelo smoke. Everyone's polite and respectful because everyone wants that huge bag that he brings, his fights bring.
I
You
don't give
guys
a
don't give a
fuck.
fuck. You guys
I don't give a
call it like
fuck.
you see it.
You
Um,
know, I'm so happy because he knows who
yeah,
I am. Yo, the
yeah,
father of David Benavidez talks a lot of shit. He
yeah.
knows me. I feel happy.
Facts.
He
We
knows who I am.
we
So
fuck with that. We fuck with that.
yeah,
Believe me.
Absolutely.
Let's say the Canelo. All right. Let's say you don't think the Canelo fight's gonna happen. You got Morel. That fight's kind of undercooked, and then you got probably
it's gonna happen. That Morel has to happen too. We're in the same company. He's a guy that's coming up. He has what, like 10, 11 fights.
yeah,
He has a belt. So I don't understand why it wouldn't happen. But people don't understand sometimes. In order to be a pay-per-view fight, he has to have a fan base. He's
yeah.
not there yet. I think, in
I
my
agree.
opinion. Fuck, we'll fight him right now.
Right.
I want to fight
Yeah,
him now because he is gonna get dangerous. He's gonna get harder. Right now, I don't think he is at a level at that level with David.
yeah,
He's getting better and better and better. Why
yeah,
not fight him now? But he talks a
yeah,
lot of shit that we're afraid. Come on, man. We're not afraid of nobody. Let's make it
yeah,
happen. And that fight is going to happen.
yeah.
It has to happen
At
because at the end of
68
the day, at
or 75,
six-
maybe
68,
68.
118, 118, 175, whatever.
Yeah, it's gonna
Oh,
happen.
no, I'm just playing. Whatever, 168, 175. I mean, he's a tall guy. So, yeah, whatever.
What about Bivol or my bad? Go ahead.
Oh,
I was
that,
gonna
that,
say,
that that's a fight, man. That we want. That if
that's
this
where I'm
didn't
going.
happen with Boo, that's the fight that we want to fight. We want to fight people. I think he's a dangerous fighter. He beat Zurdo Ramirez and beat Canelo. So those are the challenges that we want to take. Fuck, man. If Bebo's watching this, hey, get ready, man. We're coming for you. No matter what. We're not
I like it.
underestimating Boo Boo, but man, we would love to have a fight with Bebo.
Because that was my question. How long do you see Davis staying at 68, or is 175 some greener pastures?
Yeah, no, we're good. We can fight at 168, 175, not a problem. So
What happened?
He tapped out. Let's see if he comes back. Ladies and gentlemen, you checking out Drunk Sports Combat. We have legendary trainer Jose Benavidez, senior. I like it. He's talking real. He's talking my talk. He's talking real spicy. You know what I'm saying? What do you think so far? What he's talking about?
Yo, I like the fact that he's able to give other fighters credit, and he's able to stand his ground, and be honest. Like you said, there's no angling. He don't want to make nice for the Canelo fight, and quite frankly, I think that's the way you have to move. David, at this point, you have to move him. You can't be sitting around stalling out, waiting for the bag. You got to create your own bag, man. And I think he can do that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
especially that's why I was asking, how long does David stay at 68? Because 175, he go and fight Bivol, beats Bivol,
Yeah,
and then Canelo probably gonna run and hide after that. Because like that's
yeah,
why you didn't want to fight him at 68.
yeah.
And I know you ain't about to step up to 175 and fight
Nah, nah.
Benavidez. So
Yeah,
Canelo's gonna have they're gonna put a bill on him. You know what I'm saying? Put a hat on him, call him Scrooge McDuck. He rich, but he's still a duck.
fact. Yeah, that's
You
a
know?
fact. I don't think Canelo at 75. I know he fought what's the dude that Andre Ward fought, man? My fucking
Kovalev.
I know he fought Kovalev up there, but he doesn't look good at 75 at all, in my opinion.
He
You know
doesn't
what I mean?
belong at 175
Yeah,
at all. Too
yeah,
much
you
of a
don't.
height disparity for the guys that are up there.
Yeah, and he's definitely lost a step, in my opinion. That's true too. Um, I do like the Bivol
Benavidez.
Benavidez fight, but
That's a really good fight.
I was looking forward to the Canelo fight, man. Just so David could get his paper. You know what I mean? I want him to get his paper. You know what I mean? It sucks that everyone got to chase Canelo now. You know what I mean?
But do you ever see, and that's my thing, too good to be true, because that is the setup.
Mm-hmm.
You have to chase Canelo. He
Yeah,
don't choose you. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
you even how he talked about David and how he ended up with the Boo Boo fight. You choose somebody and you say, yo, I'm gonna be willing to make concessions or be willing to give this person an opportunity. Not necessarily financially. I'm sure there might have been other fights out there that it might have been more money, but
Yeah.
look at how Team Benavidez is moving. So with Canelo, and then look at the way he did Boo Boo. You know what I'm saying? You gotta let people do it for you. Like boom, you
Leave
from that
Booba
era.
dirty. Yeah.
Remember, the Locks couldn't get out of that Puffy deal with a lawyer. They had to go to the court of
Yeah.
public opinion, and it was that
Yeah. Let
strong
the
for
locks
somebody
go.
that people love like that.
Yeah.
The public forced shame on that
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
The public will force shame on Canelo because it won't be the numbers that do it, because he could find something better. He could, you know what I mean? It would only be pride, and then the people is like, they won't let him sleep at night. His old lady got to look over him and say, "You going to fight Benavidez?" You know what I mean? That's the only thing that's going to make it shake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What do you think he had? He got what? He has the Charlo fight, then he has 2 more fights in there. So where do you think he goes? How does he navigate around this duck sauce?
If he got any honor, he gonna do the Charlo fight. He does not do the Crawford fight. All right.
Yeah, I don't think he wants. I don't think they really want that Crawford fight. I know Crawford probably wants it because he wants to. I think. Well, Crawford said he has 2 more fights, so he's essentially cashing out. But go ahead.
Now, if he wants to do Canelo, that is, if he wants to do anything, if Munguia's available, not Munguia, Zurdo.
Mm-hmm.
Munguia,
Ramirez, yeah.
yeah, Munguia baby stool. I ain't worried
Yeah,
about that at all.
yeah.
But Zurdo, you know what I mean? That would be a good one. Do that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Since he's always talking about giving the Mexican fans, I know he's historically made his fights free or whatever, and do that fight in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Zurdo versus Canelo.
Yeah.
Giving a Mexican fighter an opportunity to get a big bag, all right?
Yeah,
so I think that, if you want to,
but he don't fight Mexicans, right? Isn't that what he says? Is that
his? I don't listen to none of that shit.
Yeah.
Whether he's speaking in Spanish or English, because I know he's a hired gun at this point.
Yeah.
And so there's only a few fights left. So yeah, he might say that, but I mean, can we expect him to step up to 175? He doesn't want to vacate, because I think part of what makes him marketable is marketing him as an undisputed champion. You know what I'm saying? Canelo without the belts, he's much more difficult to market, other than him being Mexican. But a Mexican champion.
Yeah.
That's where the marketability is. So they're really not going to put him, or he's not going to put himself in a position really where he don't think he's going to lose the titles. That's what makes his Charlo fight so important.
Yeah. I know we talked about that last time on a thing, but let me get your take one more time, man. Canelo wins that fight. I heard you on the Boxing Voice the other day. You don't really like when dudes jump up a couple of weight classes. You don't think that's a good thing.
I can accept this, right?
Mm-hmm. It's not a humanitarian act, though. No.
No. It's definitely not a humanitarian. But that's like, yo, man. You know what? I'm gonna come pick you up, but you gotta give me money for gas. You gotta ride in the back seat, and man, I ain't riding with you.
Yeah.
So those kind of offers are easy to refuse.
Mm-hmm.
If you offer a man a fight at a weight that he might have already, especially let the way his fans tell it, he had so much trouble making this weight. How dare he, Crawford offer him? He know he can't make that weight. You essentially gave him a way out, because his fans and whomever get to say, well, clearly I can't take the fight, because you're asking me to risk myself. I already did it the first time, whether you guys know it or not. So it's like, all right, man, cool. It's blame it on me.
Yeah.
Blame it on me. Blame it on the guy that told you I don't care about legacy. Blame it on me, and let's just say we both move on from this shit. And I go take my crack at Canelo. I really think Crawford wants Charlo. And I really think he'd be satisfied with fighting Charlo, win or lose, just because of the bad blood.
Charlo look like he's kind of backing down from that shit, right? From what it's looking like in the media and all that, right? He doesn't look like he look like he doesn't really, the way he's talking, like he doesn't really want, before he was talking super spicy, like, yeah, I'll do it. But now he doesn't, it seemed like he don't really want to fuck with Crawford at this point.
Yeah. I mean, he'll be singing a different tune if he loses, because sure, he still has Tim Tszyu on his plate, but then he set up, like I mentioned, for like the Roy Jones effect.
Yeah.
You go up to come back down, and then you might put yourself in a precarious decision.
Yeah.
So he might be better off. You gonna come down and fight Tim Tszyu. I think Tim Tszyu And that's a dangerous fight to go up and come down.
That's a
Meanwhile,
dangerous
it's
fight.
an easier sell to say if I go up and come down and fight a 147 pounder that's coming up to 54.
Yeah. And then he has to. He won't have the belt if he comes back down. He's got to recollect, right?
Well, if he loses, because the WBO, Tim Tszyu, I believe, becomes the full.
Because he's the regular, they upgrade him. They're upgrading him to the super, right?
Yeah, and now Canelo's going to vacate those belts. Now, you know what I'm saying?
Because Charlo's stripped, if I'm not mistaken, right? He's already stripped. They said once he steps in the ring, that's it. It's a wrap, right?
Of the one belt that he shares with Tszyu.
Gotcha.
But for the other ones, he'd still be the champ unless Canelo takes him. Now we know Canelo's not going to move down, so he's going to vacate him immediately.
Yeah, he's going to vacate him immediately. Yeah. So
it would even be dangerous for Charlo to try to move back down and try to reclaim him. Like again, coming back down the two divisions, you got to work yourself down. That might not be the best play. So I'm hoping he stays at 160. Or like I said, if you want to come down to 54, you take your chances against Crawford, who's coming up.
I wonder why they didn't let him go on recess. I'm curious, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's that all about? You know?
They know Tim Tszyu is a play.
Yeah, that's true too.
Getting the belts off of Charlo, as great as a champion as he's been, you just move him over. Yeah. It's a little bit more marketable, a little less tan, and a couple more miles on the other side of the earth to market him to.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I just found out today Rolly might be stripped. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
Didn't deserve it in the first place.
That's what everybody says. Yeah. I didn't think they'd do him like this though. You know?
But who is he gonna fight? Like, was he really gonna fight any of his mandatories, or like, what was he gonna do? What fight could he have made to make the sanctioning body say, "Yo, pay my mandatory a step aside"? Because Rolly versus, like, you know what I'm saying? He ain't got no moves on the board.
He don't got no moves on the board.
Best. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I thought they were trying to line that Ryan fight up at some point. I thought that's what they were trying to do.
Would have been nice.
Now they're supposedly, but also is fighting. What's the kid from overseas? What did it? I forgot who they said.
Was O'Hara Davies?
Yeah, they on a Ryan Garcia undercard, but they didn't name an opponent for Ryan yet, correct? Because I didn't hear anything.
No. But here's the thing, like it very well could be, and I'm just thinking with the last minute updates, O'Hara Davies and Ryan Garcia, which is a dangerous fight
for Ryan. Yeah.
But who else you gonna? He done fought Tank Davis.
Yeah.
Unless, like, who else is he gonna fight? Unless you're telling us that we built him up, to deflate him.
Yeah.
So he, at some point, you have to give him the benefit of the doubt or some sort of competitive advantage where he can fight somebody. Because Rolly would have been a good fight.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know, man.
That's I'm curious how that's gonna play out, man. I think Rolly has he's on the clock to show some real medical proof that he has an injury or something to that effect, right? So I think they're like, we fucked up by giving him this shit, and it's poetic justice. You know what I'm saying? Damn, man. What's your take on Errol Spence? Are we waiting on him? Hopefully he taps back in. I'm not sure what happened. I text him. I don't know. Errol Spence negotiations, man. It's becoming chess now. He said in a court, he said out in public, we could do the rematch at 154, right? And now they squeezing him, right? They squeezing him, saying, "Nah, you got, what? Come back down to 147." Because like I said last time we talked, they don't really want that fight. Nobody really wants that fucking fight. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? What's your take on it? Errol supposedly, I don't know. I think he said he'd take the fight, or that's rumors. I didn't hear him say it out of his mouth, but what do you think? Errol goes that fight happens at 147? Makes more sense to me in terms of the belts.
Yeah. And you want to know why? Because the fight is hard enough to sell in the first place. So we at least have to question, is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? And then eventually it'll have to happen at 47. Because like you said, what do we do with those belts? Crawford's not going to vacate the belts.
Yeah, there's his leverage. Yeah, those are his leverage. Yeah.
So Earl's going to do it, and this is just going to be it. You ride off into the sunset, Now, would it have been nice if Crawford, fought at 150, sure, but then it can't be for the belts. I mean, it was nice enough in those rounds where Crawford was carrying, Spence instead of hurting him and putting him down. Like, how much more charitable humanitarian acts you want him to do for the brother? This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want him to do? You want him to fight with his arm behind his back at this point?
Damn, come on, man. That's fucked up. Come on, don't do my man Spence like that, man. Come on, that's fucked up.
We got to draw in some curiosity as to why or how the outcome would be different. And if I heard that Bud Crawford was fighting with one arm behind his back, I was sure as hell give Spence a better chance. But seeing him line it up at 47 for the same, I'm like, if the weight drain was a problem the first, so let's talk about it though. If the weight drain was a problem the first time, and it's not a problem the second time, what that means is Earl Spence and people like me, which maybe I don't have the right to question, is his lack of discipline.
Right.
Maybe it's the lack of discipline. Right? Because
yeah.
We knew it was a negotiation. Maybe the fight was going to happen. Maybe it wasn't going to happen. But if the ball was in his court, then he should have been getting ready. Not like, oh shit, I signed for the fight. A rush job to. I can't project that on. But what other reason would it be for him having a difficult? Oh, my body. I've been fighting at this weight for too long.
Yeah. Somebody took a shot at him the other day. They was like, "Oh, I'm running on the road." I forgot who it was, man. I got such a bad memory.
That was Mel. He said, "Don't catch me out of breath like y'all had Earl Spence."
See, that's telling. That's his guy. You know what I'm saying? So, that's crazy. So you think he would? So what do you think? He just? I mean, how can you really couch this, man? He just didn't get in shape. I mean, that sounds crazy for the biggest fight of his life. I mean. You seen him running with Frank Martin too. He looked a little.
Yo, running with Frank Martin. That don't sound too good right about now. You know what I'm saying?
No pun intended.
Yo, come on, man. Like,
I'm an Arrow guy, man, and I might, like I said, I might just be. I guess I'm a casual when it comes to this because I'm winning. I'm winning with my heart. You know what I'm saying? But. I do think the fight will be better. Why? It's blind faith. Why I couldn't? There's nothing technical. There's nothing I could take from the first fight to tell you that why I think the second fight will go any bit different. It's just blind faith. You know what I'm saying? I'll be honest with you. You know what I mean? But I can't see him dominating the last 10 years of the division and just getting washed the fuck up that crazy. You know what I mean? I don't know. Who knows, man?
The last time this happened. This was Shane Mosley and Vernon Forrest.
Yeah.
Now the difference was Vernon Forrest, exactly. Rest in peace. Vernon Forrest, though he wasn't making the kind of strides and making the waves and arguing for the fight with Mosley. He just happened to come along and position himself as the mandatory. But I'm talking about a guy that made the man at the time look lesser than. You know what I mean? And this is Crawford,
Yeah.
And again, I think Crawford is, a different type of fighter than Vernon Forrest. We didn't get a chance to see the best of Vernon Forrest.
Yeah.
But just talk about one fighter having a fighter's kryptonite,
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, and this is it.
Can we get this? So you think this fight happens, and you think it happens at 147, and you think Errol loses?
If it happens, it definitely happens at 47, and Earl definitely loses.
Okay. KO, knockout, stoppage?
I don't know. I would have to see how he looked, going into it. I mean, but weren't we all looking at Derek James hit him with the pad when he was like, it was all these, too much Vaseline, all these things we saw that we were saying, either why would he make this fight at 47? Because he's weight drained, or he was, fucking around and hanging out a little bit too much, but either way, I need to see how he looked first. So Charlo. Charlo, not only does he look physically ready, and again, I can't really tell what that like because it's different. He's not cutting weight, he's adding weight. So I don't really know what I'm looking for other than what I hear, his confidence. You know what I'm saying? He ain't yelling. He don't got that fast talk stutter. He's taking his time. He's more smooth with his words, and he's laughing and joking. Just a different guy. Different guy.
While we're on Terrence, man, real quick, what do you take of him talking crazy? Not crazy. We're just saying what he feel to Danny and Keith. You know what I'm saying? Basically saying y'all niggas is never gonna eat off my plate. So fuck is y'all niggas talking about, right? You know what I'm saying? You're not getting a shot. Danny, you're not getting a shot. Keith, you're never gonna get a shot. Where did it? Dan, Dan. I don't think Danny. Danny said on I think it was Fight Hype or Fight Hub that that fight's a possibility, and Terrence shut that down. Keith out here fucking campaigning for anything that's moving. You know what I'm saying? Any type of bag. I think last time you was on here, we talked about we got Mr. Benavidez back. Hold up.
Hey guys,
What's up, my brother? Thank you for coming back in, man. How's that? All right,
sorry, man, my phone died.
Where were we? Oh yeah, I got you. All right, got you. Thanks for tapping back in, man. We was trying to figure out what happened.
No problem, bro.
Where were we? I mean, do you remember?
You were saying about Morel or something like that, and then we said that he needs a little bit more.
The fight's undercooked.
In order to make those fights, but I think that fight's gonna. At the end of the day, we're here to fight anybody. I think he's getting better, and he's gonna get super good, man. He's very talented. In a couple of years, more fights. He only has 10. I think David can stop him now. He has more experience, and yeah, he was an Olympian, but professional boxing is a little bit different, and I'd rather fight him now.
Do you guys feel he's like? I know it's marketing and it's promotion, and you want to hype up a fight. Do you think he's over the top with the disrespect, or is that just part of building him to fight?
You know what? No. The thing is, he wants it now. He's young. He wants to make those millions. He wants to, in his mind, he thinks he can beat anybody. That's how he should feel. We were very close to making that fight, but his trainer, I don't know if you guys ever heard, he said that no, he was not ready for David and this and that. That's when I stopped talking about it, and his team thought that he wasn't ready, but he wanted to fight and he was talking a lot of stuff. So I think, like I said, we want to make that fight happen. But at the end of the day, he's going to have to wait and see whenever his team thinks that he's ready. I mean, I believe that, yeah, he wants to fight anybody. But when we were coming up, too, we wanted to fight everybody, too. So I think it's just a matter of time, But I think for sure that fight's going to happen.
Absolutely. I wanted to ask you something about we talking about disrespect, and we're talking about being over the top. It's well documented, the whole Plant, beef and all that shit, and it was very entertaining. And at times I was like, man, this is some serious shit. These dudes is on some street shit with it, you know what I'm saying? But at the end,
that was real.
Was real. That's what I wanted to ask. It was more than it was really bad blood, right? I want to commend you how you guys squashed it, though. Go ahead.
Well, we used to be friends, man. To be honest, we used to be friends. We used to train in the same gym, but he was above us, and David just went boom, and passed him over, and he felt the same way, like he's like you guys are disrespecting me, I should be in top, and David became a world champion first, and he just started talking a lot of shit and talking about stuff, and it was like that for 5 years, man. We almost got into a fight at the City Boxing Athletic too, and it just got out of control, man. But at the end of the day, when that fight happened, man, I couldn't live like that. I never done that like that with another fighter or nobody else, man. I didn't feel good, it's not healthy, And
absolutely.
I was man enough to say, hey, give him a hug, and hey, great fight, you got my respect, great warrior. And he said, can you apologize? Can you say sorry about what you said about your daughter? You know what, man? At this point, I didn't say nothing about your daughter, but you know what? That makes you feel, man. Yeah, no problem. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, bro. From the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry, bro. And then he gave me a big hug, and I want to say that in public. They turned off the microphone and all that. I have no shame. I mean, I didn't. I don't want to sound stupid. I didn't say it, but if he thinks I said it, I'll apologize.
I respect the way you guys squash it, and I even seen you guys at a couple of fights and shit. And you guys are cool. That's a beautiful thing. Positive. That's grown men maturity, and love, respect, and admiration. I wanted to commend you for that. But yeah, I just wanted to clear it up. Yeah.
Yeah, man. You have no idea how good I feel, man. After that, and I'm a big fan of him now too. I like him. If I see him, I want to hug him. I want to give him a handshake. My respect. He's a warrior. He showed it. And at the end of the day, we're looking for the same dreams. To provide for our families. And of course, he wants to be the best. We want to be the best. At the end of the day, win the best.
With that being said, we all saw the infamous video where the slap and everything. I feel like Caleb likes to try to smack dudes. He just slapped the shit out of Jamal Charlo. What what was your what was your take on that, man? I know you guys are like, yo.
Oh, I had to replay that shit over and over, man. I thought it was funny, bro. I was like, what the? Because we almost got into a fight with Charlo too. He was drunk,
That
and
same day.
he started talking a lot of shit
in the stands that time.
Oh yeah.
So
didn't Hurd smack him that night?
What?
I think Jared Hurd slapped him up that night too, or some shit, right? Didn't he? Like,
yeah. So I was like, no, my respect for Caleb Plant for doing that, man. Like takes balls,
Yeah,
and I was just rewinding that shit, and we were laughing, man. Everybody like, what? And everybody was talking about that, So that's a good thing for it, So
if they get in there, who wins that fight? I know Jamal's been out of the ring for a while.
But you know what? I'm gonna go with Caleb Plant. I'm a fan of Caleb Plant. No disrespect to Charlo, he's a great champion, but we all know what he's going through. He's not 100% there. I don't know why will he even fight Canelo, and they were thinking about fighting. That's not fair. He's going through a lot of problems, and he says that he's good now. He's training, and I'm happy for him. Because he's a great fighter, man, and we would love to fight him. And that would be a great fight. And at the end of the day, man, Charlo's Charlo. He has a big name.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me ask you something, because you're hearing in the news a lot about Derek James, Trainer of the Year. You're obviously you train at a high level. There's been a lot of flack with him lately about him taking on too much with Joshua and Errol, and now he has Ryan and Frank, and that his fighters aren't looking good, they're looking flat. Can you speak to a little bit about, is he taking on too much? Is he biting off more than he can chew, so to speak, or is that just like some media shit in your opinion?
Yeah, man, my respects to all these people, man. I don't know, man. I love what I do. I'm pretty sure that he's working super hard, but sometimes, things, are not going your way sometimes. And I just think that it's not his fault. I think he's doing the best that he can. At the end of the day, come on, Joshua, had a lot of wars, and Earl Spence too. After that accident, I don't think he's the same. Why would you blame the trainer? He's done a lot for the sport of boxing too, and I'm pretty sure he wants to win. But at the end of the day, he's not getting up in the ring. We're not. So we try to do our best. But if the fighters, for some reason, there's distractions or whatever, when a fighter loses, they blame the trainer for it. When a fighter wins, they don't give credit to the trainers. So I mean, it's normal. So I just hope that everything goes well, and hopefully he gets new fighters, and then he'll come back in the top again because he's a good trainer.
While we're on Derek James, there was a rumor months ago. Pardon. One of my guys out in Texas was telling me that they were supposed to move everybody up in that stable up a division. And I feel like, again, it's just speculation. But at the time, Spence was supposed to vacate, move up to 54. Mel was supposed to move up to 160. And then Maul was supposed to move up to... I feel like that was a missed opportunity. I can't say that's what contributed to what's happening now, but I think that would have shifted the landscape of boxing and gave, I think, all those fighters new opportunity, kind of new goals, new purpose, and it just happens that way. Like you said, sometimes it's just the way the cookie crumbles,
Yeah, and that's hard to say. At the end of the day, they know what's happening, what's going on in their camps and all that. I mean, I don't think we should blame the trainers for it. I mean, at the end of the day, this is what I do. This is what they do. If I get a guy that's a good fighter, I want to train him. I want to work with them. At the end of the day, other people are not going to be happy about it. But at the end of the day, I think when you organize yourself, I have 4 assistants. That when they come in, if I can't go to the fight, this other guy's gonna go. We're gonna do all the work. But I mean, I wish I could be in all the fights. It's hard, man. It's super hard. It's super. To be honest, that's another topic. To be honest with you, it's super hard. It's super.
Spreading yourself too thin. Is that what happened with Jose Venezuela? Something similar to that, or what was the situation with that?
No. That man, I adopted this kid. I treat him like my son. I had him since he was 16 years old, from zero to all the way to the top. I think he just lost ground, man. He started becoming a superstar and losing ground, man. At the end of the day, that's in my mind. I think he got distracted, and that's what happens in boxing, and I mean, he left. There's no champions here in my stable. He wanted to be a superstar, and he was not treated like that. So he went to a place where he is a superstar. Here, there's no superstars in my gym, and some people they just want to be treated like a superstar. To me, I mean, until you retire and you bring all those belts, maybe I can say, hey, you did a great job, Until then, we got to keep proving ourselves and keep working hard.
That's some real Rocky 5 shit when he leaves Rocky to go with the fake Don King shit. But he's got a fight. He's got a fight coming up, right? Are they doing he's doing a rematch with Baby B Hot, right?
Yeah, well, when he came in, he said he was gonna leave, and it tore my heart, man. I love him, man, like my son, but I want nothing but the best. And if I told him, if you feel good and you want to go back and train with somebody else, great. I'm here. I'm gonna still support you. You need help, you let me know. And he left, right? And the next day I called him and I said, hey, listen, I love you, man. And you know what? I manage him, so I'm gonna give you a contract. You're a free agent, you could go and find another manager, and it's okay. No worries, I mean, if you're not happy no more, it makes me a little bit uncomfortable. So I don't know what to do. You're young, if you focus, get focused again, you have all the tools to become a world champion. But your contract here, I give it to you. I'll give you a release, And he said, no, can you help me
manage?
Can you help me manage me, And the next day I got him the rematch with Colbert. So right now they're just looking for the rematch. It's already there. It's ready to go. They're just looking for a date where they can put it.
I heard you say if he loses, I forgot what you said. I've been looking at a couple of interviews that his career is over. Can you explain what you meant by that?
Well, at the end of the day, it's both of them are supposed to be superstars. Yeah, both of them are supposed to be superstars, and I mean, Colbert got dropped. And I think Rayo won that fight, but they gave it to him. But at the end of the day, it's like people that didn't give him that respect. A lot of people know that he lost. So one of them, at the end of the day, this is a business, So I mean, whoever loses this fight is going all the back to the end, And the one that wins, he's got a revenge and bounce back. So it's not just Rayo; it's Colbert too. I think Rayo, with good preparation and staying focused, I think he can stop him. Colbert's too small. And we can see that his chin is not that great. So I think that Rayo won that fight. I think he was stronger, but he couldn't finish him. So at the end of the day, he had the opportunity, but I think he was very close to it, but he couldn't do it. So you leave it to the hands of the judges, and the results are going to be different.
Absolutely. I mean, you got anything?
Nah, not much, man. I was just thinking to myself, Rayo or Colbert, I forgot what they call it. It's just like one of them, the career's over because those guys have been built up to be superstars instead of kind of harnessing their potential.
Yeah.
I know Colbert, personally, I'm saying what I know of him. I don't want to act like I know him personally. He can talk and he sell the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's a character.
He's a character, you know. You want to see him in there. He's gonna talk his shit, but at the same time, you know, you can see the holes in his game. That you say, you
like
know,
Rolly.
yeah,
It's like
you know,
Rolly.
he might have been chilling in that Wrangler when he should have been in the gym, you know, doing the right thing. So you know, you want these young guys to have that experience to where you say, hey, it's up to you. You know, we can only get you but so far. You know, and yeah, Cobra, he might be talking a lot of shit now. I don't want either of these fighters to be, you know, over. But I'm thinking Colbert, man, he better fall back on that chicken shack he got out here in Jersey, man, if he lose this one.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, man. So I think he's flashy, he's sellable, he's marketable, but at the end of the day, you got to deliver. You know, like Adrian Broner. You know, I mean, he could have been a
Wasted talent.
superstar. You know, but I mean, you chose the wrong guy. Why would you go up to 135 when you're at 130? You know, I mean, big mistake right there.
I like that you said there's no superstars in your gym. Everybody's humble, and you could tell everybody looks hungry and humble. I appreciate you spending this time with us. I got one more before you go, if you don't mind. I wanted to give our listeners some insight, man, because you hear this whole other side of the street thing, and you being a manager and a trainer, you have an inside perspective on the business as well as, you know, what it takes to train fighters. Recently, Terrence Crawford was saying this whole other side of the street shit is just code word for ducking. You know what I mean? Speak to how hard it is for, you know, managers and promotional companies to, you know, rival promotion companies to actually make fights at that type of big level, if you could.
You know, I don't think it's hard. You know, the thing is here, you have all these guys that just want to win. They're afraid to lose. You know, we were trying to negotiate this fight with Mugia. He's on the other side, you know. And if the guy wanted to fight, we could have made that fight happen. But then he decided not to do it. So he could have said whatever he wanted to say. I think when the fighters want to really fight, it doesn't matter, man. But when the fighters feel that they have a chance of losing, they'd rather just go the other way or look the other way, you know? Because at the end of the day, you know who you can lose with or it's a tough fight, you know? So, I mean, thank God now these days, everybody's fighting everybody now, you know? We started the good year fighting good fights, and now everybody's jumping in, you know? So we have all these exciting fights, and I'm happy for those fights, you know? And it's really easy to make, you know? It's all up to the fighters that want to take the fight. Yeah,
absolutely. So that's a myth. So with that being said, Spence, the rematch, Spence Crawford at 147 or 154. Is there a difference in who wins that rematch?
Man, you know, I love both fighters, man. But like I said, you know, Earl Spence, thank God he's alive. After that accident, man, I don't see he's the same. And we've seen it with Dugas, and we've seen it now with Terrence Crawford. I think it's just going to be the same, man. Why put your life in risk? You know, I mean, fucking Terrence Crawford's too strong, man. He's going to come up big too, and I think maybe even worse or maybe the same. You know, I mean, nothing's really going to change. And that's my opinion, man. You know, to be honest. But who am I to? But that's my opinion, like what I think of what I see now. A lot of respect for both of them. Both of them are great fighters. But I just think that Earl Spence is not the same after that accident. Thank God he's alive and he's good, man.
Absolutely.
I agree with that one.
Listen, I appreciate you, Mr. Benavidez. We're big fans of you. We both, I think on our last episode, we both picking David. He got him slightly. We both actually have him slightly, but it should be a good fight. We want to wish you good luck, and we appreciate you coming on the show, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Take care. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, and God bless, man.
That was the legendary Jose Benavidez Sr. We want to thank him for spending some time with us, man. What was your thoughts on it? What he was saying? Anything?
No, I didn't even know he was doing the managing side, so that was just you know, that was insight for me right there.
Ryu,
that was insight. You know, that fight, either of those guys, man. Either of those guys, they got to start from scratch, man. They're gonna be on them PBC undercards. They might throw them down the show box. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's gonna suck. Because Baby B-Hop, they hype. You know, Chris Colbert was like supposed to be the next guy out of New York. You know, the long Zabs, out of the Zabs and the mics and the, you know, you know.
But you know, I got to question that because I heard that, and I heard a lot of people say that. But you know, I'm from out here too, and I never heard that. Like I heard it, but I didn't heard it because
not in the streets, but in the media.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Right? Like the streets was, you know what I mean? What you mean you never heard it? You never heard like he was the next guy out of New York?
See,
they call him Baby B-Hop. They don't just call you that for no reason.
Heard, but when I seen him fight, I said respect. I said why?
Yeah.
I was like, why? I was like, he don't have that rigid disciplined style. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
I said, where's the Baby B-Hop? I didn't understand what it was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't even see them do the cross block shoulder roll. Like, well, yeah, he does that, and that was it.
Yeah.
And it was just that. You know what I mean? But other than that, I was like, nah, fast hands at the time, you know what I'm saying? But you know,
Tio does that. I like the way Tio does that. Yeah, Tio kills that shit.
Tio be doing some 52 block business.
Yeah. Tio be wilding out, man. Tio, yeah. We're gonna see Tio again soon, or what's going on with Tio? You think, man? You know, let me couch. Before, you know, because we're gonna get out of here in a second. But I wanted to ask you this. I was upset with Tio when the whole, the whole top rank don't fuck with go fuck with your black fighters or whatever.
Yeah.
That shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I liked them before I've been to Tio fights. I was at the Cambosis fight. I was there that night. I liked Tio a lot. I was very disappointed when that whole shit came out. I was trying to listen for an out for him. Is that really some racist shit, or is that really? Are we overthinking that? But what's your thoughts on that whole shit? You know, with Tio.
Yo, I'm glad you asked, man, because it was tricky for me because what I heard more than racist, like remember how I talked about Trump being on some New York shit? I heard Florida in him. So I took his Brooklyn card, I ripped it up, took his Metro card, I gave it to somebody else, right? And I just heard Florida talk. You know what I'm saying? And it disgusted me, of course. But I wasn't upset because I knew he was resentful. He was bitter. He was upset. Because when you look at top ranked prospects, I mean, as crude as it sounds, Shusha Carrington looked like me. Jahai Tucker looked like me. Delonte West, he look like you. You know what I'm saying? Like Abdullah Mason, right?
Yeah. Shout out to Shushu. That's my guy. Yeah, go ahead.
You get what I'm saying? These and whether it was Bob trying to clean it up, because we still don't know the outcome of that lawsuit with Terrence Crawford. Probably still in litigation, right?
Yeah. That's right. We haven't heard about that. That's true. Yeah.
But you know, at this point, that was a platform for a lot of black fighters.
Yeah.
So for him to say it, he mad. He mad. But remember, the flip side is no different than if somebody said, "Yo, Bob Arum, you know what I'm saying? He only be fucking with Mexican fighters because he could pay him cheap and fight them against each other." It's gonna sound racist because he said a specific group, but when you look at the business structure, it's accurate.
That's what I thought too, but I had to double check his story. You know what I'm saying?
Bob Arum, right now, his prospects are aside from the Vargas, Richie Torres, it's a lot of black fighters. That's cool, and ain't nothing wrong with that. So Tio took a look and he felt the way. Again, is it you know, animosity? Is it, even if you say, yo, that's some punk shit? Yeah, you jealous, whatever. Oh, go Bill. It sound like a female. Oh, go deal with that black girl. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Like it sounds very feminine or Florida-y. But you know, I didn't look at it. I wasn't trying to condemn. I'm not going to compare him to Bob Arum, even though you know the motherfuckers, you know, is having the same conversation. You know what I'm saying? At that temperature, but still, I think to move on from just the statements, though, we see Tio again, and I can tell you, I was happy to see him sitting with Oscar De La Hoya
recently. Yeah.
Because he throws.
But everybody sits with De La Hoya. David Benavidez was sitting with De La Hoya 2 months ago.
Yeah, but it's different when Tio do it. Because Tio throwing shit in the game with the controversy. We don't know. Tio, he jumped on Triller Dick before when he thought they had it bag for him. We got to watch him. And as long as eyes are on him, he still has the opportunity to continue to impress us in the ring. Because as much criticism for the comments, even going back and forth with his dad about it, like, see, this is what my dad does. He tries to rein me in, but I don't care. Even that element of controversy it's all eyes on Tio. And then what we happen to do when he's got his head on straight is to
Mm-hmm.
witness what we saw when he was on that Heisman run.
Mm-hmm.
He's a hell of a
Mm-hmm.
fighter.
Yeah.
So
When he was knocking down Comey and all those dudes, yeah, he was running through the motherfuckers and shit. Yeah.
I'm here for it, Cash. I'm here for it. I'm here for
What is okay? So what does he got? Like, how many? You know how many fights he has left on Top Rank? Because
I don't know.
That's another thing that's blurry to me. I don't know. You know, he's acting like he's gonna retire. Is he trying to force his way up Top Rank? Are we going to see a Mikey Garcia situation with him? Like, you know, it's confusing because he has some big fights out there for him. And one thing about De La Hoya will negotiate with the other side of the street.
Yeah.
We've seen it happen before, correct? Who does De La Hoya have over there at what is Tio campaigning at? He's 140 now, right? Who do you think De La has over there that would be a good fight for him, in your opinion? Zepeda's at what, 135?
Mm-hmm.
Who at 140 you think De La has over there? It'd be a big fight for fucking Tio.
Nobody but
Nobody.
Ryan.
He's got to. Nah, nobody wants to see that shit. I mean, the casuals maybe, but he's got to go knock on fucking Al Heyman's door again, right?
Yeah.
Because we got who? Tank. We got Shakur. We got Devin.
Or
right?
You look at who's over at Matchroom because
yeah,
or
I
Boxer.
About
and really
I be forgetting about Eddie because Eddie's, I don't know, yeah.
And he don't got too many people, but remember he pulled Sandor Martin out because whenever they can't go over to Al Heyman, Eddie
stick him in the ring with Sandor. Yeah. He makes everyone look ugly. You know what I mean? Sandor. What is it about Sandor Martin that makes all these dudes have bad performances and shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, because Regis looked bad against him and fucking Tio looked bad against him, right? Like,
everybody looks bad against him.
Yeah, right? That's fucking crazy. God damn. Before you go, Regis, Devin, because there's a lot. You know what I hate about this lately, man? There's a lot of boxing gossip. There's not a lot of action happening now. It's just a lot of gossip.
Yeah.
But we do know, right? We do know that Devin and Regis are gonna get it in. How you see that fight playing out?
Devin's gonna have the opportunity to try to outbox Regis.
Mm-hmm.
We're really gonna see Devin's chin tested for the first time against a real puncher.
Yeah.
To me, that makes it a 50-50 fight.
That's the equalizer.
Respectfully, I don't know what your relationship is with Bill Haney, but every time somebody mentioned his name on a boxing voice, the motherfucker pops up.
So. Say his name 3 times, right?
Yeah, I ain't got time for that tonight. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying what I said. You have to see me later about it.
Yeah.
Devin's chin will be tested for the very first time against a real puncher, against somebody that has the patience or should have the patience to set up his punch. But we know Rougarou didn't do good against technical guys. And by technical, we mean guys that like to work off the jab and move.
Josh Taylor named, yeah.
So it's still 50-50 in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to pick, remember, I was honest enough in front of Senior to admit that I chose Plant because I tend to lean towards the boxers.
I like that. That was dope, yeah.
So I gotta lean towards Devin Haney. Even though I felt like Loma won that fight, like I'll be trying to split it down, objective as hell. I'm going with Devin Haney.
Oh, you think Loma won that fight? You're in the law. Oh, you know I did hear that about. Yeah, you're in the law. I'm on it. How many times did you watch that fight?
3.
Okay, about the same as me.
I had a 7-5 Loma. You know what I'm saying?
I wonder if I'm just scoring it with blind love again. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing that. I don't know. But I had Devin winning that 7-5.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
And so imagine if we get a questionable victory for either fighter because we got to score one of them knockdowns. I feel like Devin can get a little Bambi legs. They may say, well, no, he's gonna move up in weight, so he'll be a little bit more sturdy. But I feel like he can still get a little bit. But that changed the scorecard. Even if Rougarou is kind of chasing him around to land that punch, you knock him down once or twice. Devin has to get off the canvas to outbox if he's going to get off the canvas.
If Rougarou lays him down 2 times, that's gonna regardless of the outcome of that fight, he's never gonna get that Tank fight because Tank is gonna say, "Imagine what I do to the nigga." You feel what I'm saying? That's gonna be how he, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's crazy, man. I don't know.
But with all the slickness that Devin did in the Loma fight, again, I don't think Rougarou is as a speed, and even the combination punching, but it's just the difference in like Loma's just like snake biting the shit out of you. Rougarou is a hammer, you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't have to be the same volume and accuracy. It just has to land. So I'm curious to see how Devin handles this one because he's gonna have to jab pretty much, and it's I wonder, is that gonna make him feel like he got to do a little bit more, or is he just like, nope, I know what I got to do, and I'm gonna keep doing that shit?
Yeah, he's got that jab. Got to be all night. He's got to work. Don't you know how some people abandon that jab? Don't abandon that jab. Everything's gonna come behind that fucking jab, 100%. I'm looking forward to that fight, though. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that fight, and then we better get something real after that. You know what I'm saying? So
before we get up out of here, I gotta tell you, man, the one fight we gotta pay attention to because this one is real. It's an undisputed bout. I bet you guys ain't know we had an undisputed bout coming up this weekend. Why? Because you guys don't follow enough women's boxing. But I'm Casanova when it comes to women's boxing. I don't mean Casanova 2 times.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it.
Nah, you on the streets. Go ahead.
I'm on the streets. I love women's boxing, all right? And so Jessica McCaskill versus Sandy Ryan. This is for women's welterweight undisputed title. This is in Florida on the undercard of the Richardson Hitchens versus Jose Tronzapeta bout.
No doubt. So I'm looking forward to that. Shout out to my man. I've interviewed Richard a bunch of times. My guy. So shout out to him.
Africa. I'm going shout out to Little Africa.
Brooklyn in the house. We talking about Brooklyn earlier. That's Brooklyn right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're gonna look out for that. Say that again one more time. Because a lot of dudes don't. I ain't gonna front. There's a lot of dudes that don't be into the women shit like that.
Nah, man. This is Jessica McCaskill, former undisputed welterweight champion, current unified welterweight champion. She's in there against Sandy Ryan. I believe Sandy Ryan is the WBO champion. So this is on Orlando, Florida, Saturday night. The winner becomes undisputed. And again, we want to see it no matter whether it's women's boxing, men's boxing, undisputed, man. That's how you know who got the straps. Yeah, and this one's on the zone. All right. So be sure to tune in. And Sandy's coming over from the UK. So if there's anybody out in Florida listening, half of the Bronx is down in Florida right now.
100%. 100%.
I mean, down in Orlando, show some love, man. Go see her.
And I'm guilty of not tapping in as much as I could to women's boxing. So I'm about to get my women's boxing shit up too, man. So I'll definitely be tapping in. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. So but we had a good episode, man. I appreciate you coming on. You know what I'm saying? Fuck with me Sunday. We got the guard Blue Blood Boxing on here. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk that talk with him and got a bunch of shit lined up, man. Catch my man at the championship rounds. You heard him on the Boxing Voice. He's back on the championship rounds. Dope podcast. One of the purest fucking boxing fans I've ever met, and I have the pleasure of working with him. I'm excited. Some good fucking work tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. We get into it, brother. And you guys tune in. We're gonna get cash. I'm gonna give him the championship round treatment. And I got a new episode coming tomorrow. Again, Women's Boxing Wednesday. I'm getting back to school special, and you guys gonna see me back here on Sunday whenever I can grace you guys, man. I'm definitely trying to get my stripes around here. So thank you guys for tuning in. Drop a comment, drop a like, drop a criticism, anything you got for me. I appreciate it because it's all love.
No doubt.